Hello my dear friends and future doctors. It's my second demo video on eukaryotic DNA replication. I am Dr. V. Mahindramani, Assistant Professor of Biochemistry, Islamia College, Vaniambadi. I have completed my doctorate degree in the topic of molecular clinical toxicology, and I have more than 12 years of teaching experience in the field of biochemistry. So we already discussed about DNA replication in prokaryotic. Today we move on to DNA replication in eukaryotes. So DNA replication is a process of producing two identical replicas from original DNA strand of DNA molecule. It is the biological process of all living organisms, and it is the basics of biological inheritance. That means the genomic information is transferred from one generation to another generation. The DNA is made up of two strands. During replication, the two strands are separate each other by the helicase activity. These two strands are act as template strand, and it used to produce a daughter DNA by the enzyme DNA polymerase. So this is the process called as semi-conservative replication. The half of the DNA is a parental strand and half of the DNA is newly synthesized. So it is continued from one generation to another generation. The fundamental mechanism of eukaryotic replication is same as prokaryotic DNA replication, but some variation also there we are going to discuss. The replication in eukaryotes is more complex because prokaryotic are circular DNA, where eukaryotic genome are quite complex. It is larger than the prokaryotics. And eukaryotic DNA is organized by nucleoprotein association, histone association, and everything. Here we discuss about similarities and difference in the prokaryotic and eukaryotic replication. The similarities are the formation of replication fork is same as well as in the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Semi-conservative mode of replication. The movement of replication fork, that means a bidirectional movement. Primer synthesis, Okazaki fragment synthesis in the lagging strand. Primer removal, a gap filling by the DNA polymerase, and nick sealing by DNA ligase. These all are similarities between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic replication. The difference are the eukaryotic replications are very large in size when compared to E. coli prokaryotic. The eukaryotic having distinct package of eukaryotic DNA by nucleoprotein and histone association. Eukaryotic, the rate of replication is very slow when compared to prokaryotics. In prokaryotics, 1500 nucleotides are synthesized per minute. In eukaryotic, there's only 50 nucleotides per second. So the enzymes and proteins required for eukaryotic DNA replications are the eukaryotes. There are 5 different polymerases there. DNA polymerase alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and epsilon. But only 3 DNA polymerase that play important role in the DNA eukaryotic replication. One is DNA polymerase alpha. In prokaryotic, DNA polymerase, that means primase, it used to synthesize primer. In eukaryotic, DNA polymerase alpha, for its primase activity, it used to synthesize primer for both leading and lagging strand synthesis. In prokaryotic, DNA polymerase 3 play important role in the polymerization activity. Here, DNA polymerase delta and DNA polymerase epsilon. DNA polymerase delta for lagging strand synthesis and DNA polymerase epsilon for leading strand synthesis. So 3 important DNA polymerase which play important role in eukaryotic DNA replications are DNA polymerase alpha, delta and epsilon. DNA polymerase beta play important role in the DNA repair. After the completion of DNA replication, there is any mismatch pair is there that can be cleaved by the DNA polymerase beta, and the DNA polymerase gamma that play important role in the mitochondrial DNA replication. So overall 5 DNA polymerase is there. Alpha, delta and epsilon play important role in the eukaryotic replication. Alpha play important role in the primer synthesis, delta in the lagging strand, epsilon in the leading strand. So there are 5 different steps in the eukaryotic replication. One is pre-initiation, initiation, elongation, termination and telomerase activity. In prokaryotics, only 3 stages: initiation, elongation, termination. Eukaryotic replication somewhat complex. It's having 5 different stages. Pre-initiation. See, in eukaryotic, the origin of replication is called as ORIC, where assembly of helicase and DNA polymerase, SSB, topoisomerase, gyrase, it starts the initiation. But here the pre-initiation is the replicator selection, the process of identifying the sequence that will direct the initiation of replication. It happened in the G1 phase of cell cycle. See, in cell cycle, G stands for gap phase. During the gap phase, cell, it usually check the size of the DNA, the shape of the DNA, the size of the cell, shape of the cell, and proper arrangement of the DNA. There is a checkpoint is there. It checks all the things. So if it is okay, it allows the cell cycle to G1 to S phase. This pre-initiation occurs in the G1 phase. This process leads to assembly of multi-protein complex. See, first thing, the origin of replication is identified, and assembly of some of the proteins, multi-proteins, which is responsible for initiation, is accumulated on this site. It is called as pre-initiation. Origin of activation only occurs after the cell enter to S phase. Before, only accumulation, recruitment of these multi-protein complex only happen in the pre-initiation. The replicator associated protein complex to initiate DNA unbinding and DNA polymerase recruitment. After it enters the S phase, then only the DNA unwinding, the helicase protein and DNA polymerase, that means DNA polymerase alpha, delta and epsilon, are accumulated. The first step in the formation of pre-replication is the recognition of replicator by eukaryotic initiator. Thus, origin is called as ORC, origin of replication complex. In prokaryote, it is called as ORIC. Here in eukaryote, it is called as ORC, origin of replication complex. Once ORC is found, it recruits the helicase, a loading protein, cell division cycle protein, and replication initiation protein CDC6 and CDT1. These all are cell division cycle protein that play important role in the initiation process. Together, the ORC, origin of replication complex, and loading protein recruit protein that thought to be eukaryotic replication 4, that means helicase, MEM, mini chromosome maintenance protein complex. Because eukaryotics are more complex, that DNA can be associated with the histone molecule and nucleoprotein molecule. So this mini chromosome maintenance protein also play important role in the DNA maintenance. Formation of free replication complex does not lead to immediate unwinding. See, the pre-initiation is the only assembly of proteins, some replication factors, some enzymes in the origin of replication complex. Simply we call. For example, assembly of cell division cycle protein, replication initiation protein, and mini chromosome maintenance protein in the ORC is called as pre-initiation. Second stage of eukaryotic replication. ARS, autonomously replicating sequence. In eukaryotic, the DNA replication initiated at specific site is called as ARS. It's like ORC or replicon. ARS, the origin of chromosome in eukaryotic contain 11 base pair sequence which is having 80 rich. In prokaryotic, 3 repeats of 13 base pair and 4 repeats of 9 base pair is the origin of replication, ORC. Here in eukaryotic, the ARS is 100 to 150 base pair long. Generally, it's having 11 base pair sequence of 80 rich repeated sequence is there. This ARS. In prokaryotic, there is only one origin of replications called as ORC. In eukaryotic, there are more than 100 ORC. That means ARS is there because the eukaryotics are very large in size. So, if it is the replication process is going on, it takes longer the duration to complete the replication. So, hence there are more than 100 replicon. 100 original replication is there. The same time the replication starts in the 100 replication fork and it's completed within 1 hour of replication. There are multiple origin in eukaryotics. In yeast, for example, there are 400 ARS. That means 400 origin of replication in eukaryotes, especially in yeast. The multiple origin are spaced between 30 to 300 kilo base pair apart. So one origin of replication to another origin of replication, there is a nucleotide length is 30 to 300 kilo base pair. The sequence between the two original replications called as a replicon. So there are 100 replicon in the human being. In human chromosome, there is 100 replicon. So each replicon there is 2 bidirectional replication is there. So there are 200 fork. That means bidirectional. There are 200 fork is there. The central core sequence contains 11 base pair elements known as ARS, autonomously replicating sequence that rich in AT because it is easy to unwind by helicase activity. Because in DNA, A adenine pair with thymine by double bond, hydrogen bond. Guanine pair with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bond. Adenine pair with thymine with 2 hydrogen bond. So the 2 hydrogen bonds are easily cleaved by the helicase activity. Hence the original replication have more number of AT pair. The flanking sequence consists of overlapping that include variants of core sequences that can be different in the original replication. So this is the pre-initiation where the replicator sequence is called as ORC, original replication complex, is recognize this replicator sequence where it recruit cell division cycle protein CDC6, CDT1 and mini chromosome maintenance protein 2 to 7 all are assembled here and then the initiation process starts. ORG, origin of replicating element, and ORC, origin of recognition complex. At the origin there is association sequence specified DNA binding sequence. The ORG, original replication elements, where other recruit proteins, enzymes That means DNA polymerase alpha, DNA polymerase delta, DNA polymerase epsilon, replication factor C, pCNA proliferating cell nuclear antigen, replication factor A, SSB single stranded binding protein, and helicase are collectively called as ORC, origin of replication complex. It formed in the ORE, origin of replication element, that means ARS. In the autonomously replicated sequence, the original replication sequence, these all protein and enzymes are assembled there. In ORC, this multimeric protein, initiation of replication in all eukaryote requires this multimeric subunit protein, which binds several sequences within the replicator. DNA unwinding elements. After recognition of the ORE, is located adjacent to approximately 80 base pair AT rich sequence that easily unwind. This is called as DNA unwinding element. Binding to ORC to ORE cause unwinding to DNA unwinding elements. So first the ORC recognize the replicator sequence, and then the DNA unwinding elements come to unwind, that breaks the hydrogen bond in the AT pair, that makes a open complex called as replication bubble or replication I. When the ORC origin replication from assembled, it recruit DNA polymerase alpha, DNA polymerase delta, RFC, RFA, pCNA, SSB, everything to the initiation site. Formation of replication 4. Now the AT pair is opened to form a replication 4 by the DNA helicase. DNA helicase and DNA polymerase delta due to its helicase activity. Here DNA polymerase delta. In the prokaryotic, Rec A protein play important role as the helicase activity. In eukaryotic, DNA polymerase delta, its helicase activity unwinds this short segment of parental DNA at 80 base pair AT rich sequence called as DNA unwinding element. It located in the origin of replication elements. So DNA polymerase delta make to break the hydrogen bond between AT pair and form an open complex. Now open complex is formed. Then primer should be synthesized. In prokaryotic, primer is synthesized by primase. In eukaryotic, the both leading strand and lagging strand, primer is synthesized by the DNA polymerase alpha. So DNA polymerase alpha initiate the synthesis of primer. The primer is RNA. It's having adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine, uracil instead of thymine. So DNA polymerase alpha having the primase activity, that synthesis primer which having 10 base pairs. Now the DNA polymerase delta in lagging strand and DNA polymerase epsilon in leading strand initiate the synthesis of leading and lagging strand in the elongation process. SSB, single stranded binding protein, comes to binds on the single stranded DNA and prevents the re-annealing of the single stranded DNA. pCNA, proliferating cell nuclear antigen, it acts as a clamp loader. That means in leading strand synthesis is done by DNA polymerase delta, lagging strand synthesis by DNA polymerase epsilon, and primer synthesis done by DNA polymerase alpha. There are three different polymerases play important role. So these pCNA, proliferating cell nuclear antigen, play important role to clamp that DNA polymerase, and it shift this DNA polymerase alpha, delta and epsilon during the synthesis of leading and lagging strand and primer synthesis. This RFC, replication factor C, is called as clamp loader or matchmaker. So pCNA with RFC, it shift this DNA polymerase according to the synthesis of leading and lagging strand. So this is the double stranded DNA. It is a nucleosome histone association is there. So first thing, the DNA polymerase delta comes with its helicase activities, makes the open complex, and DNA polymerase alpha comes to the primer synthesis. The pCNA acts as a clamp loader between DNA polymerase alpha, DNA polymerase delta, and DNA polymerase epsilon. MCM, mini chromosome maintenance protein, maintain that chromosome by forming this histone association. After the synthesis of double strand, it forms the histone association and it protects the DNA. So such a way RFC acts as a clamp loader. Multichromatin, mini chromatin maintenance protein maintains that nucleosome association after newly synthesis done. Rate of replication fork movement. The rate of replication fork in eukaryote is 50 nucleotide per second. It is 1500 nucleotide per second in prokaryotic. So it takes 500 hours to complete the replication in human or eukaryotic. Instead, there are multiple replicon, that means multiple origin of replication. So in eukaryotic, the replication completed within 1 hour. In prokaryotic, it takes 40 minutes. The DNA sequence between the two origin of replication is called as replicon. There are 100 replicon in the human chromosome. There are 200 replication fork. So elongation process. So elongation process is start by the DNA polymerase alpha by the synthesis of primer and DNA polymerase delta and DNA polymerase epsilon. DNA polymerase epsilon do the leading strand synthesis. DNA polymerase delta is doing lagging strand synthesis. So DNA polymerase play important role adding the complementary base pair. If it's adenine in the parental strand, it's add thymine. If it is thymine, it's add adenine. If it is cytosine, add guanine. If it is a guanine, it's add cytosine. So the DNA polymerase play important role to add a complementary base pair to the parental strand DNA. The synthesis of leading and lagging strand. DNA polymerase can only synthesize new strand in the 5' to 3'. See, my dear students, the synthesis strand is always to be 5' to 3'. Don't forget about it. Therefore, the two newly synthesized strands grow in opposite direction because the parental strand is anti-parallel. One strand is 3' to 5', another strand is 5' to 3'. So, it always do opposite direction, that means bidirectional replication and semi-conservative mode of replication. The leading strand is continuously synthesized because it towards the helicase activity. The lagging strand synthesis is direction away from the replication fork movement. So the lagging strand synthesis is lacking, that means synthesized by the piece. So it's called as Okazaki fragments. The Okazaki is a scientist who discovered the lagging strand synthesis with discontinuous manner. So it is called as Okazaki fragments. So the elongation process on two different ways. One is a leading strand, another is lagging strand. In leading strand synthesis, it initiated upon RNA primer synthesis. The RNA primer is synthesized by the DNA polymerase alpha in eukaryotic. The primer is 10 to 15 nucleotide. The DNA polymerase alpha adds a stretch of nucleotide complementary to the parental strand. That means 10 to 15 nucleotide. At this point, DNA replication factor C, clamp loader, carries out the process called as polymerase switching. So now the RFC with the pCNA switch DNA polymerase alpha to DNA polymerase epsilon. The DNA polymerase epsilon carries the leading strand synthesis by its 5' to 3' polymerization activity. So after the primer synthesis, DNA polymerase epsilon shifted by the pCNA with RFC and it continuously synthesizes the daughter DNA. After addition of several nucleotides in the daughter strand, the primer should be removed. The primer is removed by the enzyme DNA polymerase epsilon by its 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. See, the epsilon having polymerization activity, the same epsilon, DNA polymerase epsilon, having primer removal activity. It removes the primer. The primer removal gap is again filled by DNA polymerase epsilon by the polymerization activity. Finally, the nick is sealed by the DNA ligase. See, DNA polymerase only adds the complementary base pair. It makes the hydrogen bond only, but the nucleotide with adjacent nucleotide, it's having phosphodiester bond. The phosphodiester bond can be sealed by DNA ligase only. DNA polymerase delta improves the fidelity of replication due to proofreading activity. So first, DNA polymerase alpha come to primer synthesis. DNA polymerase epsilon comes with polymerization activity, and again DNA polymerase epsilon comes to primer removal activity. The gap filling by DNA polymerase epsilon, proofreading by DNA polymerase delta. So there are 4 different enzymes: alpha, epsilon, and DNA polymerase delta, and DNA ligase play important role in the leading strand synthesis. Lagging strand synthesis. So lagging strand is a Okazaki fragments is initiated same way to leading strand synthesis, but it is in the fragment piece of DNA, because the lagging strand is opposite to helicase, that means replication fork movement. The RNA primer synthesis by the same DNA polymerase alpha. The primer is extended by DNA polymerase delta. In lagging strand synthesis, the polymerization activity done by DNA polymerase delta. In leading strand synthesis, DNA polymerase epsilon. So DNA polymerase delta having 5' to 3' polymerization activity, it synthesizes a newly strand, that means daughter strand. The priming is frequent event of lagging strand synthesis. The RNA primer can be continuously synthesized by the DNA polymerase alpha. The primer is removed by RNase H1. In prokaryotic, primer is removed by the DNA polymerase epsilon. In eukaryotic, the primer is removed by RNase H1. See, this RNase H1 cannot remove complete primer. It leaves 1 or 2 nucleotide in the primer. So that 1 or 2 nucleotide finally removed by the endonucleotic activity of FEN1 RTH1. Flap endonucleases RAD2 homology 1 complex removes the one remaining nucleotide. So RNase H1 removes the primer, and the final nucleotide of primer removed by the FEN1 RTH1. Be careful, my dear students. These are the questions asked previously in CSIR NET examination and NEET examination also. The gap is filled by DNA polymerase epsilon. See, primer removal gap is filled by DNA polymerase epsilon, and nick sealed by DNA ligase. So here also DNA polymerase alpha come to primer synthesis, DNA polymerase delta comes to polymerization activity, RNase H1 comes to primer removal, FEN RTH1 removes the final nucleotide of primer, and DNA ligase play important role in the sealing the nick. So this is the overall diagrammatic representation of eukaryotic DNA replication. See, this is the double strand. It is the one-off of replication 4. First thing, DNA polymerase alpha comes to the primer synthesis. Here the pCNA with RFC loads the DNA polymerase alpha, DNA polymerase delta, and DNA polymerase epsilon. CDC, MCM are the recruited proteins which maintains the chromosome DNA during the replication. The topoisomerase play important role to release the truss when the helicase activity opens the replication fork. RNase H1 play important role in the primer removal. DNA ligase to seal the nick after the primer removal. So leading strand is the continuously synthesis strand because it towards the helicase activity. Lagging strand synthesis or discontinuous synthesis because it's opposite to helicase activity. Finally, we move on to termination. So when DNA replication fork meet each other, because there are 100 replicon is there, 100 original replication is there. So it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So when it meet the end, the termination is occurs. It will result the formation of the 2 replication DNA, each through replication terminated 5' end of telomeric part. Newly synthesized strand found to have a shorter DNA strand than the template parental strand. So that's finally joined to make a complete DNA of newly synthesized. So telomere. When during replication there is a problem is occur. See, this is the overall replication. The blue color stands for parental strand. The one strand is 3' to 5', another strand is 5' to 3' is antiparent. The red color is shown as the newly synthesized DNA. The synthesized strand always to be 5' to 3'. Look at this. It is 5' to 3', 5' to 3'. Here also 5' to 3' is newly synthesized. Newly synthesized. So the primer is removed by the RNase H1 and DNA polymerase epsilon by its primer removal activity. Previously we discussed. So the primer is removed by the DNA polymerase epsilon in the leading strand. In the lagging strand, RNase H1 removes the primer. So in between, the primer removal are filled by the DNA polymerase itself. But at the end of the final chromosome here, at the end of the chromosome, the primer removal gap cannot to be filled by the DNA polymerase because it needs free 3' hydroxyl group. So there is no extension of DNA here. So the final gap, here the gap, the primer removal gap cannot to be filled by the DNA polymerase. That is the major problem in the completion of replication in the lagging strand. So if it is so, the gap is there, that form a defect chromosome, that makes mutation, that makes error in the DNA, that leads to severe problem in the human being. But that can be solved by the activity of telomerase, the final stage of DNA replication in eukaryotes. The telomerase is the ribonucleoprotein. It contains the RNA component, that means adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracil instead of thymine. The RNA component serves as a template for synthesis of telomeric repeats in the parental strand. See, this is the sequence of telomerase in the different organisms. For example, human, the telomere repeats are A, G, G, T, T. In plants, A, triple G, triple T. In algae, A, triple G, 4 T's. Protozoan 4G and 4T, yeast are 3G and T. These are the sequence they present in the telomeres. Look at this, my dear friend, be careful on it. It's a very complex process. So this is the primer removal, the gap that cannot to be filled by any DNA polymerase because the synthesis strand is 5' to 3'. Here there is no primer. It needs 3-hydroxyl group to fill that gap. So there is no 3-hydroxyl group is there. There is no nucleotide is there. So any DNA polymerase cannot make to fill this primer removal gap at the end of the chromosome. See here. That can be solved by the telomerase. Telomerase is a RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So first the telomerase come to bind on the parental strand of the DNA. Now the telomere having the sequence we already discussed. These are the different sequences there. So here some nucleotide is there. So first these telomerase act as a template to synthesize daughter DNA from the pre-existed parental strand. See, this is the parental strand, this is the newly synthesized strand. Now the telomerase act as a parental strand here and it synthesizes a complementary base pair here. So now there is free 3-hydroxyl group is there. It may extended several hundred nucleotide is there. So such a way that extension is occurs. Now see the telomerase sequence is there. It having 3-hydroxyl group is here right now. Now the DNA polymerase having the free hydroxyl group, so that can be extended by the DNA polymerase. So now that gap is filled by the DNA polymerase. See, 3-hydroxyl group is there. It can be filled by the DNA polymerase. Finally, the telomeric unit unwanted sequence are cleaved by the exonuclease activity. Now the gap is filled by the telomere. Look at my friends, this telomerase act as a template at first. Next it acts as a DNA polymerization activity. Next the same telomerase act as a primer. So this telomere can act as a primer, can act as a template, can act as a polymerase activity. The three activity done by the DNA telomerase enzyme. The final gap is filled and the chromosome is completed by the telomerase activity. Today we discuss about the eukaryotic replication. It's having pre-initiation, initiation, elongation and termination and telomerase. We discussed. Thank you my dear friends. If you like my video, kindly support me for taking classes for NEET. Thank you my dear friends.